Shirley, we talk a ton about metrics on our shows, and we talk about like what should be measured. But you know what I don't think ever talk about is how do we do that? Why don't we talk about that? And why do people actually get stuck on it?
I first think it's a pain. It's really hard. And I think it all starts because a lot of the measurements and the metrics people want to look at are very theoretical. And once you are getting to the implementation of it, it's really a tough mission because you actually need to go to different products, different SMEs in the organization, pull a lot of data points, clean them up, understand the products, and now you need to bring them all together. So in order to build something that would be viable, for that you will need an infrastructure that is starting from the basics of collecting the data into one place, understanding dozens of different security programs and security products supporting those programs, then asking yourselves, what is that I actually need to measure? And try to make it pragmatic that you can actually measure that rather than trying to invent something that is too hard to capture. And then you have teams running around trying to get a response to a question which is very hard to get, if even. And then the ROI for that just doesn't make sense.
This is exactly what you're doing over at SeeMetrics, because it is taking all these elements from disparate sources. It's not this single pane of glass, but it's more of an understanding of what you're measuring too, and being able to tell a little bit more of a story. The importance of what you're measuring actually makes sense. So walk me through that.
Let me start with an anecdote. Last week, I spoke with a prospect from a utilities company in the US. He just got tired from telling me what are the things he needs to measure. He needs to measure threats, risks, products, optimization, rationalization of the stack. Now that they, as the team, needs to go out there and collect so many data points, this is when it's just becoming such a major burden. And this is why usually when people or customers are coming to us, they have this Excel that they really try to implement, but it just got too hard to do that. So what basically SeeMetrics is doing, as a header, we are automating security programs. Plug into SeeMetrics, get dozens, probably today, hundreds different of metrics coming all from what the industry measures. We have productized dozens and hundreds of those Excels, and the common denominator of what is that they're measuring is the basics of SeeMetrics. So today you would come into SeeMetrics, you would get out-of-the-box measurements measuring different security programs, and then from those building blocks, operational building blocks, we have started measuring risk, threats, policies. It's a long process that takes different skill sets in the different phases of building that automation. We are starting from the engineering of the APIs all the way to the methodology, the metrics, and everything between that.
Now that we actually have these metrics, how is it actually helpful in a business environment?
Now we actually want to tie in improvement plans or risk mitigation or threat reduction plans to each of those boards we are measuring. So we've blended the data, you plugged into SeeMetrics, you got your metrics, but the next thing you're getting is a really simple action plan that would tie to your own company's policies that would tell you, here is where you're breaching. So let's assume your vulnerabilities program is probably a mix of several metrics. Is the scanning, for instance? Is the MTTR? So you'd like to take this accumulation of that, but where is the weakest link that I really care about? Is that a specific view? Are those specific users I'd like to tackle and now go and help them get better? So I have a proper plan to go and improve their performance or be able to naturally reduce the risk, mitigate a threat, depending on the board that you're at. But all the underlying data are the same operational data SeeMetrics blends in together.
Excellent. Well, if you want to see that what you're doing is actually achieving your policies or falling a little bit behind, go and check out what they're doing over at SeeMetrics. The web address is right there, seemetrics.co.